आपल्या बरोबर आज स्वाती दांडेकर आहेत. स्वाती दांडेकरांचा महाराष्ट्राला नवीन परिचय करून द्यावा अशी खरं स्थिती नाही. आयोवा स्टेट सिनेटच्या त्या सदस्य होत्या. त्याच्याबरोबरच ओबामा बायडन ऍडमिनिस्ट्रेशननी एशियन डेव्हलपमेंट बँकेवरती त्यांची अँबॅसेडर आणि एक्झिक्युटिव्ह डायरेक्टर म्हणून नेमणूक केली होती. डेमोक्रॅट पार्टीच्या त्या एक सिनियर मेंबर आणि खूपच काळ कार्यरत असलेल्या अशा नेत्या आहेत. स्वाती दांडेकर, एबीपी माझामध्ये तुमचं मनपूर्वक स्वागत आणि आताच्या ओबामा बायडन हॅरिस तिकीटच्या विजयाबद्दल अभिनंदन.
Thank you very much. And I, like I said to you, Kumudi, that I am, माझा जन्म गुजरातमध्ये झाला होता. So my Marathi is not as good. आणि माझे मिस्टर म्हणतात ते पुण्याचे वगैरे असल्यामुळे ते म्हणतात की तुझं मराठी अस्खलित नाही आहे. So you just better stick to your English, which is good, pretty good. So I am going to speak to I'll try to speak Marathi, पण मला असं वाटतं की माझा third word will be English. So त्याच्यामुळे I just want people to understand की जरी मी महाराष्ट्रीयन आहे, very proud Maharashtrian. I grew up, like I told you, grew up in a family जिथे इथे अमेरिकेत ज्याला एक्सटेंडेड फॅमिली म्हणतात, इंडियामध्ये आपण त्याला जॉईंट फॅमिली म्हणतो. मी माझे आजी, माझे आजोबा, माझी पणजी आणि पणजोबा बरोबर राहिली होती. आणि नागपूरमध्ये राहिल्यामुळे तिथे सुद्धा जास्ती आमच्या घरी नागपूरमध्ये त्या हिंदीचा जास्ती वाव होता. त्यामुळे
तुमच्या भाषेबद्दल खरंच आज काही अजिबात प्रॉब्लेम नाही. तुम्ही एक महाराष्ट्राच्या असल्याबद्दल तुम्हाला अभिमान आहे, ह्याचा आम्हाला सगळ्यांना आनंद आहे. आणि तुम्ही ही जी कारकीर्द राजकीय क्षेत्रामध्ये अमेरिकेमध्ये स्वबळावर घडवली आहे त्याच्याबद्दल महाराष्ट्राला कौतुक आहे, अभिमान आहे. आणि तुमच्या ह्या अनुभवामधनं काही गोष्टी शिकता आल्या महाराष्ट्राला, काही जाणून घेता आल्या, तर त्याचा प्रयत्न महाराष्ट्र नक्कीच करेल आणि नक्कीच ऑलरेडी केलेला आहे. मला प्रश्न तुम्हाला आजच्या विजयाच्या पार्श्वभूमीवरती असा विचारायचा आहे की आजची जी संध्याकाळ आहे, आजचा पुढचा दिवस जो आहे, हा बायडन हॅरिस कॅम्पेन मध्ये नक्कीच विजय साजरा केला जाईल. पण त्यानंतर मुख्यतः आता काम सुरू करण्याची निकड आहे. काल बायडन यांनी जे जनतेला भाषण दिलं त्याच्यामध्ये सुद्धा त्यांनी आपण काय काम सुरू केलं ह्याचा पहिला रिपोर्ट जनतेसमोर सादर केला होता. तर तुम्हाला काय वाटतं की आता मुख्य आव्हानं बायडन हॅरिस कॅम्पेन समोर काय असतील, प्रत्यक्ष प्रशासन सुरू करण्यापूर्वी आणि प्रशासन हाती घेतल्यानंतर सुद्धा?
So first I have to say congratulations to my friends, President-elect Joe Biden and Vice President Vice President-elect Kamala Harris. I am very, very proud of them. They handled this election with dignity and also with kindness. And that is the reason they are where they are today. They won because of their kindness, their generosity, and an understanding that we are all hurting in sense because of COVID. For last 4 years, we have been hurting in sense the country is polarized, it's divided. And Joe Biden already has started working on bringing unity back to United States. This is not going to be easy. When it is like जेव्हा तुम्ही घरी भांडण करतात किंवा आपल्या भावांमध्ये सुद्धा भाऊ बहिणीमध्ये जेव्हा भांडणं होतात, तेव्हा जरी आई आणि बाबांनी कितीही प्रयत्न केला की बेटा सांभाळून राहा, चांगलं बोला एक दुसऱ्यांशी, स्टील इट टेक्स सम टाइम, राईट? व्हॉट एव्हर तुम्ही जर रागाने भावाला म्हटलं किंवा भावानी बहिणीला म्हटलं, इट टेक्स टाइम. It's the same way. It's going to take time for us to heal, but we are already on a path of healing. आणि शेवटी we are family. We are United States of America. We will heal because we have great leadership now in Joe Biden and Kamala Harris. So all these things take some time. It's not like you turn off and on switch of a TV or of a radio. It will take time, but they already have started it. They are not waiting for to get President Joe Biden or Vice President Kamala Harris. They are already started working on it. And I saw that when they were even campaigning. So it makes a huge difference. And I think one of the first few things, like he said he will do, which one is he will heal the nation. Then he said in 100 days, he has on his platform that I will go back into climate change treaty with Paris Treaty. He's going to do all that. And it's not going to be easy, especially how to deal with COVID-19. But he is the right leader to be at this moment in our life. Like, even yesterday and today, if you looked at our numbers, COVID-19 numbers, they're very high, especially in my state too. So it is important. They have their work cut out for them. And the three important things are, one is healing of the nation. Second is, how do we take care of the COVID issues? And COVID issues also affects jobs and economy. So these three things are so important for them. They already have started working on it, and they will be successful. And that's what I'm praying for. I know they will work hard, but prayers from all of us definitely will help them.
I hear you when you say they will work hard and they have already started working. But what about the Republicans in Senate? गेल्या काही वर्षांमधला ह्या देशाचा जे इतिहास पाहिला, उघड्या डोळ्यांनी पाहिला, तर रिपब्लिकन्स आणि डेमोक्रॅट यांच्यामधून मराठीत जसं म्हणतात विस्तव जात नाही. एकमेकांमध्ये अजिबात सहकार्य किंवा सामंजस्याची भाषा करायला हे पक्ष तयार नाहीत. त्या पार्श्वभूमीवर आणि खरं तर तुम्ही इव्हन हे जे फेडरल लेवलवरचे जे सेनेटर्स आहेत, रिपब्लिकन असोत किंवा डेमोक्रॅट्स असोत, तुम्ही यू हॅव वर्कड ऑन द बोथ साइड ऑफ द आईल, जसं इकडे म्हणतात, म्हणजे दोन्ही पक्षांबरोबर तुम्ही काम केलंय. तर तुम्हाला काय वाटतं की हे सहकार्य जो बायडन यांना निर्माण करता येईल का, किंवा त्यामध्ये काही अडचण येईल का?
So it is माझ्या मतेने Joe Biden he was a senator also for a long time. Leader Mitch McConnell was his friend, of course, and Joe Biden has worked with all these senators, Republican senators, one time or the other on one issue or another. And at this moment in our life, we needed somebody like Joe Biden who understands how to work with the other side of the aisle, and that's Republican. And Joe Biden can do that. It's not going to be easy, but he is a kind of a person who I feel that will respect the Republicans. If he wants A, B, C, D, E, and F, and then they will say, President Biden, we can give you A and B right off the bat. On C and D, we'll have to work. E and F, there's a lot more work. Or they may say, we cannot work on F. He's a kind of person who will say, let's get A and B first. C and D will work on, and let's talk about E and F later on. He has that kind of approach. And when you start respecting the other side, because he has done that before, he's not new to the Senate. He's not new to the Senate of United States Senate. He's not new to United States House of Representatives. Some of them, like Majority Leader Steny Hoyer, he knows them personally. Nancy Pelosi, he knows her personally. Makes a big difference. And I really feel that is very, very important. It's very interesting. This question was asked to me just today when I did another webinar around noon. Remember, I told you that I will have to move it because I did not know that I had already signed up for that long time ago. And that was the question, how do you work together? And I did. When I was in Iowa House, I was also in a House of Representatives before I was senator. I worked, when I was elected, Democrats were in minority. Our Speaker of the House was a Republican, a young Republican. He's 15 or 16 years younger than I am. and he was Speaker of the House. And he and we started working on lots of things together. And then he found out that I liked sushi and Indian food. Of course, Indian food is because I'm from India, of course.
Yeah.
And he used to love gulab jamun. So I used to make gulab jamuns for him. He loved it. But
so was it a food diplomacy?
Not, I would call it food diplomacy. We agreed on policies, some policies. And it was when we started working on policies, he found out that I know how to make gulab jamun. And so it was not, and I said, oh, my boys tell me that I'm a very good cook. So I said, I don't know whether I'm a very good cook or not, but I am famous for samosas, making samosas in gulab jamun in Cedar Rapids, Iowa. So he said, oh, I like gulab jamun and I like samosas. So I did make for them. But he really liked sushi, and we became sushi buddies. Every Wednesday, if the time permitted, we would go and have with other friends. My other friends would also join us. And there were few of them were Democrats and few of them were Republicans. We would go and have dinner together and eat sushi and then talk on policies where we agreed on. If we didn't agree on, we said, hey, we don't agree on this. Let's work this out some other time. And I think Joe Biden has that kind of personality. He respects others. He understands, like I told you last time, he understands that he's not right 100% of the time. He may be right 100%, but he understands that other person may also have good ideas. And he may have to take his or her ideas, and this person could be Republican or a Democrat. He knows he will have to incorporate those. So that showed when John McCain's wife, Cindy McCain, endorsed him.
या मला वाटतं की अॅरिझोनामध्ये त्यांच्या विजयाला बराच मोठ्या प्रमाणामध्ये अॅरिझोनियननी बिकॉज ऑफ
Cindy McCain. Cindy McCain has lots of respect in Arizona, and her endorsement made a huge difference for President-elect Joe Biden.
ऍक्च्युली आपण अॅरिझोना विषयी बोललो, पण मला प्रश्न आहे रस्ट बेल्ट विषयी आणि त्यातही ब्लू वॉल म्हणून समजल्या जाणाऱ्या त्या 3 राज्यांविषयी की जिथे मागच्या निवडणुकीमध्ये डेमोक्रॅट्सना अनपेक्षितरित्या पराभव पत्करावा लागला होता. यावेळेला मात्र दिस ब्लू वॉल हॅज स्टूड स्ट्रॉंग विथ प्रेसिडेंट इलेक्ट बायडन. तुम्ही तिथून जवळच आहात, खरं म्हणजे त्याच पट्ट्यामधलं तुमचं राज्य आहे. तुम्हाला काय वाटतं की ह्या वेळेला काय बदल झाला मागच्या वेळेपेक्षा की जेणेकरून डेमोक्रॅट्सना पुन्हा एकदा आपला हा गड राखता आला? दे कुड विन दीज स्टेट्स बॅक.
So I cannot completely with like 100%. मी काही market research नव्हता केला, but I had talked to lots of my friends, Republican friends and Democrat friends, in Wisconsin and Michigan, and like I was making phone calls. So it was very interesting. Those friends who were, आणि मी ना undecided लोकांनाही phone केला होता. So not necessarily just Maharashtrians or Asian Americans or Indian Americans. I had made calls for Democratic Party in Michigan and Wisconsin and Georgia and Texas. So it was very interesting that when I was talking to them, I would introduce myself as Ki Swati Dandekar from Iowa is calling, and we would talk. I didn't even give them my title or anything. Just some of them already knew who I was. Some of them did not, and I didn't make. That's just not me. We talked, and I think there were 2 reasons that I feel 2 or 3 reasons, same 3 reasons. One is they all felt that there was lots of chaos and they were exhausted of the chaos, of seeing chaos day after day for one reason or other. In the beginning, maybe if somebody is arguing and bhandana kartate, it may look cute. Okay, oh, they look argue kartate. But if that argument happens day after day after day, even as आई सुद्धा वैतागून जाईल आणि म्हणेल की आता बंद करा, she will give you time out, right? तू ह्या इथे बस, तू तिथे बस, because that's not, human beings cannot take that. So they were really tired of the chaos. Those are the words they use. They said they are going to vote for Joe Biden because they're looking for calm in their life. Because of, and then they would say, we already are facing an uphill battle because of COVID, or somebody had lost their job, or somebody could not go and see their grandmother, even if she's in nursing home. Yeah. Because like me, ek janashi boli, she said Kitty, the ek divsa articha ajila, who had some kind of health issues, I don't want to say, she has told me, and which were not, they couldn't do anything at home, but she was in a nursing home. But nursing home मध्ये जाऊन ती तिच्या आजीला भेटायला जायची, and she couldn't even go and see, and that was very hard for her because she was the only one who was in the town. So तिला असं वाटायचं की जाऊन आजीला भेटलं पाहिजे, आणि तिच्या आजीला कळत नव्हतं की ही का नाही येत आहे. आणि मग ती फोन करायची, आणि ती म्हणे फोनवर बोलून तिलाही दुःख व्हायचं आणि आजीलाही दुःख व्हायचं. And so COVID-19 was the other one. And then they are afraid, and they were afraid ki COVID-19 मुळे जर काही health issues झाले, say तुमचे, and people are saying that, right? You can have after, would that be considered later on for their healthcare as a pre-existing condition? So there were these 2-3 issues which bakiche hote, like they did talk about immigration, they did talk depending on, but these 3 issues came time and time again, and it didn't make any difference whether they were African American or Caucasian or Asian American or Latino American. It didn't make any difference. Anki Majha list for sage hote. And so I saw these 3 things again and again. And I think they thought last time, some of them admitted to me that they had voted for President Trump, but never again, they had said. And that was because, again, they said they couldn't see this argument again and again and again. And I can understand, I can relate as a mother. तुमची जर मुलांनी असं भांडणं सतत केले, तर how do you do that? And women especially, women were very, very open about it. The men didn't talk to me so much, but the women did.
Yeah. म्हणजे खूपच मानवीय पातळीवर मनुष्य म्हणून ज्या माणसाला मूल्य महत्वाची वाटतात, ज्या गोष्टी महत्वाच्या वाटतात, त्या लेव्हलवरती ट्रम्प यांचं नेतृत्व बऱ्याच लोकांना आता नकोसं झालं होतं. ते जे वातावरण होतं ते नकोसं झालं होतं, असं मला असं वाटतं लोकांनी तुम्हाला रिस्पॉन्स दिला तुमच्या फोन कॉल्समध्ये. इफ आय मे, मी तुम्हाला भारतीय जे इथे ह्या देशामध्ये आहेत त्यांचा स्पेसिफिक जर प्रश्न विचारू शकले, की तुम्ही ह्या इतक्या सगळ्या विस्तृत समाजातल्या लोकांना जो फोन कॉल्स केले, पण तुमचं भारतीय समाजाशी जे बोलणं झालं असेल वेगवेगळ्या राज्यांमध्ये, तर त्यांचा रिस्पॉन्स टुवर्ड्स बोथ द कॅम्पेन्स कसा होता?
So some of them told me that they were going to vote for Donald Trump. I'm going to, and I said I respect them. And I did not continue my conversation because these are the people who had supported me too. So I did say that that's what makes America great. That you can tell your friend, thank you for your call. Tu kashi hai? And how is your husband doing? And how are the kids? And how are the grandchildren? And how many? Some people had left. They had lost the. If I had how many grandchildren? But then they said definitely, thank you for your call, and we are going to support Donald Trump. So what I told them that I respect them. I because these are intelligent people, they told me why they are supporting Donald Trump, and that was fine. And they also knew that I'm supporting Joe Biden because I was calling for Joe Biden. And that's what makes this country great, because You can tell your friend, and that's how it should be. You can tell your friend, I'm going to vote for Joe Biden, or you can tell your friend, I'm voting for Donald Trump. And we should not be, and that's what I told them. I'm not going to argue with you. I do not agree with you, but that's what makes our country great.
मला अगदी लक्षात आला तुमचा
agree
मुद्दा.
to disagree.
मला अगदी लक्षात आला तुमचा मुद्दा की राजकीय मतभेद जरी असतील तरी त्या मतभेदांसहित सुद्धा आपल्याला उत्तम एकमेकांची संबंध आणि मैत्री सुद्धा ठेवता येऊ शकते. आणि मला वाटतं की सगळ्या जगातल्या माणसांना ह्यातून काही शिकण्यासारखं नक्की आहे. एक ढोबळ फक्त प्रश्न म्हणजे असा की आकडेवारीमध्ये जे दिसत होतं की भारतीय अमेरिकन जे आहेत ते तरीही यावेळेला मुख्यतः जास्त करून जो बायडन यांच्या मागे उभे राहतील असं चित्र होतं.
Yes, 67%, I would say, if I have to give percentage, anywhere between 65 to 70% supported Joe Biden. So I would say there was some poll that was done and it said it was 65%. So when I made the phone call, yes, आज सुद्धा webinar मध्ये when I saw more people were for President-elect Joe Biden, and it's okay, and that's what we should go back and, like Joe Biden has said, I should say President-elect Joe Biden has said that I'm going to represent those who voted for me and also those who did not vote for me, and that's what has made this country great. And I have to, like I told you last time when we talked, I went to Tata Parsi School in Nagpur, and Mrs. Adalji, she was our principal, and she always used to, for some reason or the other, she used to talk. This was when I was young in high school, right? She used to say to us that the reason America is a great country is because, I don't know whether she remembers this or not, she would say that to a small group. She wouldn't talk politics in big groups, but she would say that one of the reasons America is a great country, and any democracy, a good democracy, should have respect for other side, no matter what.
Right. आणि आय थिंक आता नवीन नेतृत्व जे अमेरिकेला मिळालेलं आहे ते नक्की ह्या मूल्याचं पालन करतील, त्या दिशेनेच मार्गक्रमणा करतील. खरं तर या संदर्भात सुद्धा तुम्ही अधिक आम्हाला काय म्हणतात त्याला तुमची मतं आणि माहिती देऊ शकता, कारण प्रेसिडेंट इलेक्ट जो बायडन यांच्याबरोबरच कमला हॅरिस यांचा तुमचा व्यक्तिगत परिचय आहे. त्या व्यक्तिगत परिचयातून ह्या दोन्ही व्यक्तींविषयी तुम्ही आम्हाला काही सांगू शकता का?
So मला त्यांचा परिचय आहे because, as you know, Iowa is first in the nation caucus.
Yes.
And because we are first in the nation caucus, we get to see every candidate personally.
Yes.
We get to shake their hands. We can have coffee with them, or we can have lunch with them, depending on how much what you say. And so I had a chance to meet both of them. And I have some pictures also. I don't like to use, I don't put them on Facebook, but they are, both of them are very down to earth people. Joe Biden's mother was a strong mom, taught him the value of treating everybody exactly the same way you would like to treat. Kamala Harris's mother, when I read about her Kamala Harris's upbringing looks very similar to what I did to my boys. A typical immigrant mom who wants her, with me it was my sons. With Kamala Harris's Miss Gopalan, her upbringing, she wanted her daughters to be successful, but she also taught Kamala American values and the values she had learned from her family in India. And I always remember the story, and this is a very good incident I did not talk to you about. I was, after I got married, and Arvind had to come here, early, and I had to, it was in those days, there was no H-1B visa or anything. It was just green card.
Yeah.
So this was in 72. So they had said that I will get my green card visa in 2 months. So I had to stay back. And Arvind came back in middle of November, and I was there till February because my father-in-law wanted me to stay with them 1 extra month because they knew once I came here, they won't be able to spend time with them. And that was fine. I agreed. And so, but I remember that before coming to Iowa in February, I was, I told my in-laws and all, they thought I should go and stay with my Aji and Azoba and my Ai and Baba. So I went and made this trip, but Nagpur was my last stop because I was going to take some of the things I had as a young girl at Aji and Azoba's house. And Mothe Baba, my Panzoba, was still alive then. And his room was the biggest room, घरामध्ये. So मी त्यांना म्हटलं मोठे बाबा की तुम्ही that time he was not well. He couldn't attend my wedding because that was the time he fell sick, and then when I came here 2 months later he passed away. म्हटलं मोठे बाबा मी आता इथे पॅकिंग करतेय. तर म्हणे कर बेटा कर तू कर पॅकिंग कर. आणि I think I have this habit of sometimes if I want to do something properly, I talk to myself. And so I was talking, and me asं म्हटलं की this, ki I hope Iowans accept me. I hope Iowans accept me.
Yeah.
Accept me.
Yes.
And ते झोपले होते आणि ते उठले लगेच. मला असं वाटलं की मोठे बाबा झोपले होते. आणि ते म्हणे की, आणि मला ते पप्पू म्हणायचे. तर मला म्हणे पप्पू बाळा तू इथे ये आणि माझ्याजवळ बस. तर मी म्हटलं ओके. मी बसते बिकॉज आय यूज टू हॅव कॉन्व्हर्सेशन विथ हिम ऑल द टाइम. आणि मी बसली आणि मला ते म्हणाले की सो यू डिसाइडेड टू मॅरी अरविंद. आणि and I said yes. आणि ते म्हणाले की आय हर्ड की तू असं म्हणाले की आय होप दे ऍक्सेप्ट मी, आय वन्स ऍक्सेप्ट मी. म्हटलं हो मी म्हटलं. आणि he said why should they accept you first? You are going there. So he said that but he said I will tell you one thing. There are, in those days, not very many people came to United States, right? In 70s, not very many people came to United States, not like we come now. And he said, how many young girls of your age will get an opportunity to choose best of both cultures? How many young girls?
Yeah.
And he said, and I said, I don't know. I mean, that was my answer. And he said, not very many. And he said, एवढं लक्षात ठेव that every culture has its strengths and its weaknesses. And your job is to ignore weakness of the cultures and choose what is best of that culture. And he said, आणि कुठल्याही कल्चरला नावं ठेवायचे नाही. कारण की every culture has their issues. Either you try to change those issues in a holistic manner, but don't criticize them. That's what he told me. And so I came with the notion that I will make sure that I'm going to learn the best of both cultures. I will teach my boys best of the both cultures. And he told me that if you accept them first, Iowans, he was pretty sure that 99.999% will accept you.
तुम्हाला असं वाटतंय की तुमच्या म्हणण्याचा रोख असा आहे की कमला हॅरिस यांच्या आईने त्यांना सिमिलर संस्कार दिले, त्यामुळेच त्यांनी ह्या देशाला स्वीकारलं आणि या देशाने आज इतक्या मोठ्या पदावरती पहिल्यांदा ह्या देशामध्ये एका महिलेलाच नव्हे तर एका मिश्रवर्णीय महिलेला व्हाईस प्रेसिडेंट इलेक्ट म्हणून ऍक्सेप्ट केलंय. सो मला असं वाटतं तुम्ही तुमची मूल्य
her mother must have similar
Yes.
I feel I haven't talked to Kamala Harris on this issue, but when she talks, that comes out. That comes out.
Right.
And I see that in my two boys, and I see that's what I bet Kamala's mom was given similar advice that I was given when she came to United States to do her PhD. Right. So I think, and that shows, that makes America, in my view, a great nation. They accept you. Of course, there are always, like he said, 99%. He didn't say 100%. You always have those people who are not going to accept you no matter what. And it's okay. Nothing wrong with it. But Kamala will accept them. She will take care of those 1%. Yes.
Right. So if I may, आणि मी जर पॉलिसी इश्यूज कडे थोडीशी परत गेली तर आता बायडन हॅरिस हे दोघं जण जेव्हा व्हाईट हाऊस मध्ये कारभार सुरू करतील आणि सगळ्या जगाला नेतृत्व देण्याचा प्रयत्न करतील, भारत देश म्हणून या नवीन ऍडमिनिस्ट्रेशन कडनं भारताला देश म्हणून काय अपेक्षा ठेवता येतील?
So I'm going to, आज माझे एक फ्रेंड आहे फारुख म्हणून, and he has done lots of research on this. And what he said, and I agree, I told him I agree with him. India has reached the point, it is a nation which is successful. It is, it has a place on world stage. And it really, I used to say this to other people who used to call me, it really wouldn't make any difference who the next president of United States is, because he or she, now I am going to say he or she knows that they have a place on this stage, in this stage of the world. And I also told you that I have lots of respect for Prime Minister Modi. He's a statesman. He will also accept whoever is the next president of United States, because that's how we are, that's how America respects India and India respects America.
Okay, thank you very much for that one. मला अजून एक प्रश्न आहे, तो तुमच्या एशियन डेव्हलपमेंट बँक मध्ये तुम्ही जे काम केलं त्या संदर्भातला आहे. ही जी तुमची अपॉइंटमेंट होती ती ओबामा बायडन ऍडमिनिस्ट्रेशनने केलेली होती आणि त्या भूमिकेतून किंवा त्या रोलमध्ये तुम्ही एशियामधल्या डेव्हलपमेंट इश्यूजना ऍड्रेस केलं होतं. आज जग ज्या संकटाच्या भोवऱ्यामध्ये उभं आहे तेव्हा ठिकठिकाणी अशा विकासात्मक कामाची गरजही आहे आणि ती भारतासारख्या देशामध्ये सुद्धा खूप मोठी गरज आहे. तुम्हाला काय वाटतं की जागतिक संस्था आणि भारत या पुढच्या काळामध्ये कसं काम करू शकतील हे नवीन ऍडमिनिस्ट्रेशन सत्तेमध्ये येईल तेव्हा?
So I think Asian Development Bank, like you said, it's also a policy, and of course they have money, and their policy right now, I'm not part of Asian Development Bank at this moment,
yes.
And so I read what they send to me because I have signed up for their newsletter. And they are helping Asia, especially with the COVID related. And really, मला असं वाटतं, the COVID-19 opened the whole world's eyes, just not America's or India's or South America's or Guatemala's or these small islands. I think the leaders of the world are finding out there is a huge gap between have and have-nots. आणि COVID-19 मुळे, you are finding out, आता काही countries मध्ये, they are saying wash hands as to stay safe. Yeah. But if you don't have water, how are you going to wash your hands?
Yes.
Those kind of simple things in our lives are so important. And I think मला असं वाटतं की President-elect Biden and Kamala Harris, they understand that. ADB understands that, because when I read their newsletter, they're always saying so many this particular country received so many $1 million for COVID-19 PPEs or hand sanitizers, and those kind of things are included in it. So I think, like I told you, Asian Development Bank, they usually, the government of India will come and say, Amala, infrastructure, we need highways and byways and roadways. And then you work together. And so it's Majha Mateni, it's one of the best way to work together, where a bank like Asian Development Bank works. Country like India, leaders make a policy, and then it helps businesses all over the world, because they are the ones who do the bidding for given a project. And the way it is done at ADB, they always make sure that you hire people, local people, they get a job, their lives get better. All those things are very, very important. So ADB has always had place in every country, and especially right now, especially from what I'm reading in Times of India, I read every other day, try to read almost every day, but आई होती तेव्हा रोज वाचायची, कारण की ती फोन करून तू हे वाचलं का, तू ते वाचलं का विचारायची. आता I still do it every other day, because they are saying it is so important to have low-income housing. I hear your policymakers talk about low-income housing. Kids, if you don't have low-income housing, how do you do it? And low-income housing too, with running water, electricity, which is also very, very important. Running water, like Africa, people don't have water to wash their hands. So how do you do that?
Yeah. Those are stark issues, कारण मला वाटतं की इन्कम इनइक्वालिटी जगामधली जी आहे त्याच्यामध्ये सगळे मिळून एक काही समान स्तर गाठल्याशिवाय ह्युमॅनिटीला प्रोग्रेस करणं खरंच अवघड आहे. तुमच्यासारख्या नेत्यांकडनं आणि सामंजस्याची भाषा करणाऱ्या नेत्यांकडनं जग हे शिकतंय, अधिक शिकेल अशी मला आशा आहे, अशी मला अपेक्षा आहे. स्वाती,
I tell everybody that doesn't matter which religion you belong to. हा आपला धर्म आहे. एकूण एक धर्मामध्ये म्हणतात, help those who cannot help themselves. Doesn't matter, I'm Hindu, but doesn't matter whether you are Hindu or Christian or Catholic or Buddhist or Islam, doesn't matter, or Jewish, doesn't matter. All major religions of the world say that help those who cannot help themselves.
अतिशय मोलाचे शब्द सांगितलेत तुम्ही स्वातीताई. आज खूप विस्तृत विषयांवरती तुम्ही वेळ दिलाय, आणि प्रेसिडेंट इलेक्ट जो बायडन, कमला हॅरिस यांच्या व्यक्तिगत आठवणींपासून आणि खरं म्हणजे जास्त म्हणजे आपण करून बोललोय ते त्यांच्या पॉलिसी मॅटर्स विषयी किंवा ह्या देशातल्या राजकारणाविषयी, की ते ह्या पुढच्या काळामध्ये सामंजस्याचं होईल की नाही. आय सर्टनली होप की तुमच्यासारख्या जुन्या जाणत्या नेत्यांकडून या देशातलं आजचं नेतृत्व सुद्धा दोन्ही पक्षांचं काही एक बोध येईल आणि ह्या देशाला एक समर्थ ह्या पुढच्या काळामध्ये पॉलिसीज देऊ करतील, जेणेकरून जनसामान्य ह्या देशामधले जे आहेत त्यांचं आयुष्य सुधारेल आणि जगाला नेतृत्व देण्यासाठी एक आदर्श उदाहरण पुन्हा एकदा अमेरिका देऊ शकेल, अशी मी आशा व्यक्त करते. तुम्ही वेळ दिलात ह्याबद्दल पुन्हा एकदा मनःपूर्वक धन्यवाद.